I am the ice plant manager here at Acrisure Arena. We are in Palm Desert, California, where it is a very cool 110 degrees today. Um, I'm originally a Midwest guy. I've worked in the Midwest. I've worked in Massachusetts, and I moved out here to, like I said, make ice in the desert. Um, a lot of fun being out here. It's definitely a challenging aspect to keep ice cold.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so RJ, thanks for sharing a bit of that history. Um, John?
And yeah, and I was going to say, I think we'd like to thank RJ for having invited us down there and have got us spend an evening with him and watch the game down there. And I got to tell you, RJ, that is a phenomenal rink. And for those of you who haven't seen it, it probably equates to anything that's as good in some of the NHL arenas around North America. So, RJ, just wanted to say thank you for that.
Thank you. Absolutely. You guys are welcome anytime you want to come down. You know,
Awesome.
we just had our last games on our main rink here last week, and the Bears, even though they beat us, said our ice was probably the best ice they played on all season. So
Phenomenal compliment.
very good.
Yeah. So let's get into three or four of these questions. Just to again round it out here. RJ, what did you guys previously use, whether at Acrisure or at previous arenas? What have you used to manage your ice steps, and so on?
Yeah, it's always been a paper, right? Just print off a bunch of copies of an ice depth sheet and go out and fill them out every day, and then store them basically. And then if I ever want to go back and look at trends, I just have to go through papers and find the trends out that way. It's a big hassle, especially keeping everything in order and making sure it gets done properly and placed properly and keeping the papers dry. That's a big factor right there.
Yeah, absolutely. And reading handwriting too is huge.
Right, right.
So, how did you hear about Sub Zero, and what made you kind of like just jump on right from the second you heard of it?
Yeah, so actually I heard about you guys long before I jumped on and didn't quite do my research. And then I got on that webinar uh last year. I forget who did it. I
December,
think it
yeah.
was US Hockey. Yeah. Did that and heard you guys talk, and I was sold. You know, it was basically the research I've been wanting to do. You guys answered every question, and everything you said I liked. I enjoy no longer using paper.
Awesome. And what are some of the benefits you've seen from using Sub Zero? You mentioned a little bit about the Bears, mentioning the ice quality.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I can, like you said, I can go back, I can look at trends, I can see depths, I can see, you know, especially in our Iceplex side, I am not there every day. I don't drive on the Iceplex often. I can see what they're doing, and if we keep continue to have a spot that continues to grow and grow and grow, I can go to the next yard and be like, hey, by the way, this spot, I know you can see it, but it's grown a quarter of an inch today alone. Let's not put water down there. Let's, cut a little heavier in that area. Things like that. It's just easy to go through day by day and pick and choose what we need to work on.
That's awesome. And from getting set up on Sub Zero, how long did it take you guys to get trained, get your guys familiar? Is it a long process? Did it take months for them to get familiar with this and start using it and see value?
Nah, it took a couple days. It's very easy, quick to get used to. I think the biggest problem was just logging in, getting your account set up and with the passwords and all that. And that was right a 10-15 minute thing I had to do with each person. And then, reminding them to use the product and not go paper and pen. We want to be a carbon net zero building in 10 years, and this is helping us get along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. And some stuff that we've heard from other users is you need two things. You need minimum barriers to entry, which you mentioned. It's got to be easy and simple to use and set up. And you need a product champion. If you don't have someone in the building who's going to say, use it, get it done, and I'm using it and I'm going to be the leader of it, then it just kind of sits by the wayside. But seeing yourself and your team really take the lead on it and adopt it and start using it and do ice step checks honestly on a daily basis. Like how many ice steps have you guys done since January? Like 150 of them or 160?
Yeah, whatever. We do an ice step check in the Iceplex every night.
Yeah.
So it's one thing I'm big on is doing a check. I do one in our main rink here every day, if not every other day. So it's huge on knowing, for quality of ice, what your depths are on a consistent basis, especially if you're going to do a bunch of cuts or put down a bunch of water, prepare for a game or prepare for practices, beer leagues, all that. Knowing your depths every day is crucial.
And talking about that daily activity of it, have you heard anything from your staff? Have your staff given you any feedback regarding using this and their viewpoints on it?
Yeah, it's easier to use than just paper, right? They can go through, even not even just depth checks, being able to log your cuts. I did not have a great process for doing that. I had an Excel sheet that they just went in and did. But being able to have this online and go in and make it so much more simpler for my staff to implement what they're doing and what I'm looking for, and to even go back and look at what a previous couple drives have been from maybe the shift before them. It's so much easier to get in and get out and look at all these things instead of trying to scroll an Excel sheet.
Yeah. No, thanks for that feedback. And we've also heard another rink that has, or another organization that has 9 sheets. They said we really feel that our staff are going to be more engaged and wanting to do a lot of this stuff, and this is really going to set a fire inside the organization of people being motivated to maintain the ice a lot better because they can see changes and they can see improvements digitally and historically beyond just okay, it's written on paper again.
Absolutely, I would agree with that. Again, I go back to how easy it is just to look up information. I get people that call me on my days off all the time. Hey, RJ, we're looking at this, this, and this. I'm like, great, let's get it taken care of. They're seeing the changes and all that stuff that it's special here in the desert. I've got 8 out of my 10 drivers have never seen or touched a Zamboni before, and we've been here for 18 months, and now they're seeing trends and seeing differences in ice thanks to Sub-Zero, mainly, to be able to go and say, "Oh, wow, look at this spot." Give me a quick call, be like, "Hey, you got it. Take care of it. It seem like you know what you're doing."
Well, that's great to hear. Last question for you. I know we've taken a bit of your time here, but appreciate you joining us. What would you say to those that are on the call today, or just in general, that might want to watch the recording here and kind of interested in learning more, or saying, um, what are your thoughts? What would you share with them if they're interested in using a tool like this?
Yeah, again, like I said, it's easy. I that's what I tell everyone that I talk to about is how easy it is to use this. We're a couple bugs here and there, but you always are able to fix that right away. Um, I'm looking at my rink right now, actually, and it's sad it's coming out in 2 days because I don't get to play with it anymore.
Mm,
But it's fun. It definitely empowers the employee to do more work with it. Like you said, people use it, they become more willing to do a depth check, more willing to log their cuts. And me myself, I was always really bad about logging my cut just because I'm running, but now I can just take my phone, know what I did, and go through as I'm trying to do my next thing and log my cut. So it's a great tool, especially in a rink, and I'm able to go to my managers and VPs and show them what we've got going on in the rink and make them happy.
Thanks for the kind words, RJ. Anything else you want to add, or we're good to go?
No, I think I'm good here.
Awesome. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.